This is your daily market recap for Tuesday, October 11th, 2022. Let's go.
Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well.
This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is your daily market recap for Tuesday, October 11th, 2022. Hopefully you're having a great day. Being safe out there. Markets are getting very whipsawish up and down. Seeing some potential capitulation in some names. Seeing certain things lead. Again, I've advised heavily stay away from tech. But even tech is starting to look capitulatory. Markets rehashing certain headlines. Bank of England comes out, says certain things. We'll see what happens here. When in doubt, be safe. If you're struggling in this environment, hey, it happens. It just happens, y'all. You got to be safe. You know, put your ego aside and do what you can do to preserve capital when you're wrong. And if you get stopped out and someone says, oh, you're an idiot for using stops, they're the idiot for calling you an idiot. Because think about it. The goal is to preserve capital. No one is always right. It's a probability-based game. It'd be like watching a football game and your team is down 20-0 in the first quarter and you're like, I fold. I'll take part of my bet back. That's better than riding out and taking a total loss. That's trading for you. So again, follow on Twitter. If you need help and you're really struggling, want more and you're learning and trying to learn, the Discord room is open. I will send out links. But again, I like to know people's stories before I invite them back in. Because again, everybody's different. This isn't a room where you just come and you go, oh, tell me what to do, Dan. No, the goal is for everybody who's watching, following, to become more educated to the point where they can make their own decisions. And one day I hopefully will be following you because you can see the markets for what they are. We can confirm it. Again, it's not just this kumbaya vacuum chamber, everyone's saying the same things. No, it's the evidence. If everyone sees the evidence for what it is, it should line up as it is. Pretty simple. All right, let's get into it. Bitcoin, nothing. Again, market's bearish, bullish. I mean, shouldn't Bitcoin be crashing? It's not. Oil. You know, people say I'm an idiot. You know, I love hearing all the trolls. What did we say? Sorry. We said oil would hit 76. Come on, get it there. There it is. Then we said, watch it, what happens if it gets over, breaks these trend lines. Probably going to take a break at 93, 94. Look at that. People who troll, who follow, just, they actually realize, like, I can delete you. You can't delete me. That's the issues. Because I give pretty good information, y'all. Give pretty good information. Now, if you think I'm always right, well, guess what? I'm not. I'll admit that all the time. At this point, it looks pretty interesting here. I mean, if you watch I would say probably 86, 87. We'll see what happens here. You could argue low or high. Yeah, you could argue a lot of things. We'll see what happens. I mean, nothing's resolved. Supply is still an issue. I've said this, and we're talking about it. I think oil has this blow off top because the next leg down in the market, to me, is predicated on the Feds not being able to go QE because oil and gas commodities rise. Remember, 2000s, early 2000s, there was like birthing pains before commodities started the next bull market because the Feds eventually just said, well, whatever, it doesn't matter. But also, I think the big difference between now and then is what? I mean, we've been trying to play QE games for years now and not in the 2000s. So I think even if you don't trade for the next couple months, if that's what your best, wait for the commodity bull market to absolutely go bonkers. It's going to be sloppy and choppy. The stuff is going to hold up better than the rest of the market. That's just my bottom line opinion. And if you don't agree, well, study the past. And again, we'll go through all the charts. We will try to give you the best insight that we can. The dollar, really wide and loose today. Saw it down today. Then it rallied back up on the BOE headlines. If you don't know what they are, basically they're talking about giving 3 days for the pensions to rebalance. Rebalance to what? I don't know. American stocks, American bonds. I don't know. Who knows? This game with the chicken that central banks are doing is just going to create more volatility. And people are going to do what? Probably going to revert back to what is safe. And even though safe won't be safe always, again, because when the VIX does the first gets the breaks out, gets over the 30s, nothing's going to be safe. Maybe the dollar. Bonds should rally. We've talked about that, and we'll continue going through it. But at this point, I've said this, watch out. If this is a lower high on the dollar, not calling for the start of a bull market, Bear market, chop, potential rally. Would it be surprise you if it gets back to the mid 29s, maybe even the low 29s? No, but here are things. Okay, so I'm going to do this. Things that don't seem as bearish. Now, again, if you are trading tech and you look at tech all day, then yeah, you probably think the market's about to implode. Then you look at other parts of the market, you don't see that. That's what's curious here, and this is what is hard. TLT. Doji. Talked about yesterday. Remember Columbus Day, bond market was closed. Well, guess what? All the action was in the TLT and non-bond market mechanisms. Well, of course they tried to knock that sucker down. And it looks like they did their job. And then look what happened today. Doji. We'll see what happens. If you don't know what a doji is, again, it's a candle that has a long wick on north and south of it and closes basically where you started. This has volume. Red alert. VPA signal, 100%. If people were talking about buying bonds, because we talked about it, buying it, trying to catch it in this area. I got stopped out, went a little lower. Not surprised. Think about rubber band man theory, though. I mean, this has been stretched pretty hard. Novice gap. Now you're starting to see birthing pains. Like, that's volume. Someone was buying there. Opens at the low, closes the high. Yep. Drops, closes back, pops around. I mean, again, you have to say indecision. And so when you see indecision, say it, say it, whatever. You need more information. We'll see. I mean, I've said this a million times. I anticipate bonds to get bought when what? The market capitulates and starts the next leg down. But also it could kind of precede it. Like, here we go in 2008. Bonds just chopped and then went screaming higher. If you're looking for real estate and refinancing, it's going to be awesome. Check out this. Where, I mean, you can see up in the upper 90s. Resistance, 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 resistance. It seems very likely that this area will hold. Now, here you go. Timing. Please don't jump in and go, he said buy TLT and it's going to go up tomorrow. No, I mean, if you want to play it, layer in, give yourself time. The VIX. Interesting action. Because, again, I was watching it, and when I left to go play sports ball, I go playing basketball. I wasn't going to sit around and watch all day. It was looking like it had a failed breakout. Now, again, SPY making new lows. VIX not confirming it. Keep that in mind. We'll see how it plays out. SPY. I spy. Doji. I said this a million times, or not a million times. I said this, I mean, again, if Kern's listening, shout out to him, because I love it when people say, hey, check out this pattern. It seems very reminiscent. 462 down to what? About 80 points. Right? 430 down to about 350s. About 80 points. Look what happened here. Got really sloppy and choppy and then bounced. And then oil and gas led. Remember, they popped up real hard. This is what I'm anticipating. Again, because the nominal amount of puts, and this is what's so funny to me, is like people who are just like, oh, the market's about to implode. It's like, dude, there are trillions of dollars of puts outstanding going into October, and sentiment is absolutely in the trash. If the market maker's goal is to do what? Take the most amount of money from the most amount of people? I don't care if you've never traded in your life and you know that, then you need to start thinking like the market makers, because if that's the case and you're looking at the SPY, you go, something might be up here. Because check out, I mean, here, let me pull up the 10-minute, and you can see, that BOE stuff comes right, dojis, long wicks, pulls back last hour, interesting. Now the 10-minute, let me switch this to the 60, because I think this is where you can see the most important stuff, right? You drop, come back up. Look at this action. What do we talk about the market makers' goal is? Or not goal is. What is one of the tools the market makers use to move heavy amounts of inventory? They use the headlines. If you're newer to this and you're listening the first time, you're like, what the hell is this guy talking about? Again, read Reminiscent Stock Operator, Jesse Livermore, Volume Price Analysis by Anna Cooling. The only two books I recommend. That's all you need. Everything else is just common sense charting and knowing certain particulars. Look at this, y'all. somebody had stopping power. Can we not all agree? Can I get like 3 yeses in the chat? Like, look at this. Every reason to break down. Here you go. Here's that BOA headline. Somebody, now again, would you call it natural buying? Who knows? Worst case scenario, looks like short covering. We'll see. So now when you go look at the SPY, right? Go doji, indecision. Well, let's look at the bear case. Yeah, milkshake being slurped. Love it. Qs, leave them alone. We've said that just, they're doggy dookie. Just leave them alone. Bearish. Yeah. Well, we'll see in some of the names because starting to see some funkiness within it. But the IWM green, I have said this 1,000 times, and I say it every video. IWM leads. The IWM leads. It was the first thing to top in November. If you don't remember this. Remember the SPY peaked in December. Bottoming first again? I mean, where's my favorite frustrated, emotional homie that had a band today? Solomon, come on. Bearish. Is the IWM confirming the breakdown? If you're listening, I'm talking to you. Look at this. The IWM's not. I'm sorry. This is not near the June lows. I mean, it's 6-7 points. Things that you got to be aware of. And I'm not trying to be mean or troll. I'm like, listen, I mean, people when they come into the Discord and they go, the world's ending. Should be short. All right. Certain things, shorting, yes, they're working. Certain things are holding up. That is a fact. This isn't a market that's capitulating everything out. Let's go. Keep going. Gold. What have I said? Gold needs to do what? Gold will dump when the VIX spikes. I see a hammer. It popped and it came right back. I mean, here's the point of control. Watch the 155s. Doesn't look terrible. What's up, Cat? Silver. Back at this old shoulder line. I mean, you can see it right here. I know it broke the 20-day FIDE. Okay. Let's see what happens because you can see very clearly. Like I had no desire to trade silver. But you can see there's some support here. Watch what happens. I mean, it's been the point of control many a times. If it breaks below it, going to hell in a handbasket. GDXJ. Not great. I mean, 2-day range. I got to do a video on this. Look how tight it is. The close was not ideal. We'll see what happens here. But one of the things you got to pay attention to, right, is like, look, the pressure to take it higher. Let's check again. Let's do our due diligence. Let's get the 60-minute again, and then where's my other 60? Here you go. You close at the 200 on the hourly. Check the 10-minute real quick. Again, I'm just reviewing these charts as you know. I just got back. Okay. Tight candle, big volume. Not huge volume. Not like outlandishly huge. But interesting, nonetheless. I mean, you can see like even after hours, like there's, because again, this includes you can see some of these ticks. Watch the 29s. Just you can get emotional about it or not. I mean, watch the 29s. You can zoom back and you can see there's some interesting support in this area. I mean, I personally, it's just a trade. I don't trust it completely because again, if the market goes, it's going to go. But as we talked about. Are commodities at the lows about to implode? If you're listening, is it? Is it? Are they? No. Sorry for my aggressive tone, but it's just it gets seeing change. Old market capitulating. Sayonara, adios, arrivederci to be 25s, 26s. GDX, even this piece of junk, holding up. AG, down a whopping 3 cents. Look at this. Higher lows, higher highs. AEM. I mean, pretty close to the 20-day, but pulling back. Lighter volume. We'll see. I mean, I'd watch the 40 area. Maybe it holds. Maybe it folds. I don't know. Junky Newmont, probably down. Yeah, below the 20-day, of course. The laggards lag. Laggards lag. PAAS down 22 cents. Tight. It's pretty binary. I mean, if you like trades where you know you can get in at the lows, you're looking at them. And this is the thing. Like, if you think that QE is coming and the Feds are going to open it up a little, even just talk about it. Because I've said this. I think they don't want to, crash the market in front of a midterm election. I mean, we all know the current administration and people in charge look like absolute idiots. And they are. We know that. They're just executing everything wrong. But do you really want to crash the market right before a midterm? You know who owns that. And honestly, the market being down, does it create a red wave? Like, you have to think about potentials here. And I don't know for sure. But this is the kind of stuff the market might be anticipating. Because again, even if a red wave comes, it doesn't matter. But the market might get excited about it. Let's talk about tech. AMD. Well, remember, look at this. Hey, double freaking doji. End of the world. End of the world's coming. Tech's breaking. The name that had the guidance down, at least holding. Not making new lows. I don't usually talk about Micron. But what the... Look at this candle today. Opened at the low, closes near the highs. Even tech looks like it might be due to bounce. Not going to trade it, but just watching it. NVIDIA down a whopping 84 cents. I'm pretty sure in a doji. I don't usually talk about this one, but I know this. LRCX. I'm pretty sure they were the culprit for the SMH today. Sayonara. However, look at the volume. Did anyone look at the 10-minute on this? Or the 60-minute? Oh. Give it to me. Here you go. Look at the close here, y'all. Things that aren't bearish. You see this? So, hey, folks out there who just are like, this guy's an idiot all the time. No, I'm trying to lay out probabilities. Does this not look like somebody was short covering or buying? Can I get one yes? Does that not look like it? LRCX, again, is a chip name that has Chinese exposure. Obviously got smoked, right? The whole move down. Sorry, that's probably terrible. Down 100 points. Where's all the volume now? At the lows. Things that don't look that bearish. That candle, yeah, you look at the daily, you go, holy crap. Interesting. NXPI, let me pull that one up. That's another, I'll do that one. I mean, I don't consider that an interruption. I think that's part of the game. Smashed at the open. Volume not huge, but holding up. Again, let's just run through this because this is the thing. The SMH looks terrible, right? Okay, let's check the 10-minute. The biggest candles today on the 10-minute are all what? Verde. Again, is this natural buying or short covering? We don't know. But it's stopping power. Things that don't look terribly bearish. All right, let's just keep rolling through. Adobe, remember, got smoked with their earnings. Oh, that's the 10-minute. Not making new lows. Consolidating. We'll see. Apple. Man, Apple should be down 5 points today, right? No, it's not. Just holding here at the 138s. Things that you need to see to confirm. Like, this is what I'm trying to explain to y'all. Like, this is why we go through these recaps and they're so in-depth. And that's why they're every freaking day. Because you have to do this. If you spend an hour every day doing this, you are going to see tremendous growth in your trading. Amazon should be down 7 points. No, I'm just kidding. Doji. Doji. Maybe it goes tomorrow. I don't know. CRM. This has been a dog. We said lay off of it. Sorry. Google. Down a whopping 66 cents. Not making new lows. Doji. Meta. Name that I have always blessed short since 155. Getting close to channel lows. Maybe it bounces. Maybe it doesn't. Somebody trolled me hard for saying, like, this is going to go to 20. And I'm like, do you not remember what I IPO'd at? In the 20s. I would not be surprised if someday this comes back to it. This company is not the future. I mean, this is probably, unless they somehow pivot, it's just a dead stock. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. It'll go way lower than it should. Microsoft, with the dollar rallying, lay off this one. If you're short it, congrats, getting close to the channel lows. See it? Seen. Keep it simple. NDAQ should be down a whopping dollar at least. What? Oh, it held the 200-day. It was green. What the heck is what's going on here? Do y'all see how I'm trying to, I mean, it's, maybe the market makers have evolved to even outsmart every chart, but we'll see. MicroStrategy, shouldn't it be down like 20 or 30 points if the Qs are going to break? No, it's at the 20-day. Netflix, hey, you've been up for a while. Look where it came right back to. I would absolutely play a trade here. Look, high volume highs, high volume lows, lows retest. 100-day curling up. Let's see what happens here. Just keep it simple. Roblox, I mean, I feel like every day I see Roblox gets a downgrade, but then it closes green, meaning it did not close at the lows. Close above its open. Okay, I mean, watch the 34, 35 area. Junky Tesla, I've said this stock is going way lower. Okay, it's still not breaking the lows. Tech, some looks like junk, some looks better. Overall, I would give it a C- grading. Again, just watch. If the semiconductors do rally, you better be careful shorting near term, because they are clearly taking the brunt of all of this. Let's get into commodities, right? They're going to probably look terrible, right? X closes near the high, making higher lows. Again, I mean, I'm not even going to go things that look bullish, that don't look bearish. I mean, just these are stick to commodities. I'm telling you, when the market rallies here, this is what's going to pop more. That's the logic. Nucor should be tanking. No, made a new high today. Remember, leaders lead, laggards lag. I say that 1,000 times, but you'll either get it or you don't. Seems to... I just want to laugh because it's just so crazy how emotional people can be. Because you can look at one chart and go, end of the world as we know it. This is the... No. Looks okay. VALE. Gaps down with the dollar. Doji. Tough to tell. Not really excited about that candle. We'll see what happens. Arrow. Copper. Said, hey, gets up to the 200-day. Don't be surprised. I mean, it's got a whole 11s, mid 11s. We'll see. CCJ, shouldn't uranium be absolutely smashed today? No. Not seeing the follow through in commodities. CF put out an alert today. Watch the 50-day. Closes right at it. And is it near the June lows? No. Nope. Nopey nope. And then again, if the market was going to tank, these candles would be big and red. You would start seeing this kind of junk. Not this high and tight action. Mosaic, I think some people were buying at 50-51. Yeah, it's just in between ranges. I don't think I would touch it. NTR. Look below, pop right back. We'll see. Some commodity stuff. Let's get into XBI real quick. Things that aren't bearish. Is the XBI smashing the lows? Smash the like button? I don't know, whatever. Smash the like this chart. It doesn't look that bearish to me. Where are my bear trolls who are just saying you're just an idiot, Dan? You don't know what you're doing. I don't know. Maybe you should watch one of these freaking recaps. It's just so funny how people get way too emotional at the lows and the highs, but that's usually what happens. XLF said 100 times, watch the 30 level. We're there. Keep in mind, financials have earnings at the end of the week. And I say this, and if you're new to the channel, I'm not a fan of earnings, going into earnings when the market's down. Why is that? What do you think the CEOs are paid for? They're paid on their stock performance. Do you not think they're going to try to paint a rosy picture when the market's down? Do you think buddy passes by brokerages that are losing are going to be like, oh, let's upgrade ABC stock because we need to sell it. But here comes the perfect time to upgrade it. The CEO said, things might not be that bad. Yeah, right. MS. Again, I mean, I don't think the bear market's over. I just think you get these rallies, you get these counter trends. Here you go. Range lows, nowhere near the lows. JP Morgan, now they got problems because Jamie Dimon's talking down the market. Well, guess what? He's probably literally catching flack for that. But here we go. That taking out the lows. Okay. Got something that finally looks bearish, making new lows, other than tech. Again, stuff that we're not trading. I just watch it. Solar. What did Solar Day do? Oh, look at that. First Solar was up. Wow. Market's about to implode, Solomon, and all the other trolls out there. I mean, we only say Solomon because he was in the Discord room. I gave him the boot today. Does this look that bearish to you? I don't know. Sedge, we've talked about this thing's a piece of junk. It's in the point of control. Doji, tight action. Interesting. ENPH, people talked about it rallying up into its earnings. It typically has. I mean, does that look like capitulatory or more like consolidation? It doesn't look like it's puke, but maybe that's the puke and this is the consolidation. 3-day rule. 1, 2, 3. I mean, 4, 5. We'll see. I mean, those rules are meant to anticipate, but they're not always right. But it's still tight action. Tan, novice gaps. We got one. No, we got one gap, two gap. Man, you got 3 gaps just in a row. Interesting. I don't know what to say here. Anywhere near the lows? Anywhere? Let's end it on the stuff that I am the most bullish on. Oil and gas. This is hilarious, but we'll get into it. USO. What did we say? Well, again, you don't have to use US oil. We talked about 93 level. Here you go. Back testing an old trend line. And the 50-day, worth a watch. UNG, slamming the table. Slamming. Watch this. This is a tradable potential bottom. Bought some here, rallied up here, been adding now Boyle with tight stops. Hopefully they don't get hit. UNG, Doji. Boyle finished up 77 cents today. Is it taking out the lows? No. Not at all. XOP. Man, it shouldn't be down like a couple points. No, it's down $1. Get out of here. Here's what I'm referring to, the May, June bottom and then pop. Look what XOP did. Cash flow, best earnings potential. Yeah, all in the oil names. Everyone knows that. And if the market rallies, do they come chasing into it? I mean, look at this move. Every time the market had a pop, look at this has acted well. If you saw, I mean, we talked about and watched the mid 40s. I'm not surprised you literally go from 114 up to 147. And it's a bear market, Dan. No, it's a tradable market. And now you pull back to the gap and the 150-day cross. Pulls back on light volume. Gets bought with a little above average. I don't know, whatever. We'll see what happens. I mean, watch the 130, I guess 35, 36. Doesn't look terrible, right? ExxonMobil. I've said I think this goes back to new highs. We talked about it hitting resistance. Could it take a break? Well, it comes back right to the 8-day, the trading moving average, traders, and support. You see the point of control. Drew it. Didn't break it, did it? Did it now. You know? All right, let's talk about Occidental because we'll get into some other ones in a second. Doji, talked about up here. Watch out, pulls back. Things that don't look terrible to me. EQT, this is my favorite. Up 78 cents today. Aggressively bought. Opens at the low, closes near the highs. Leaders lead. Fills the gap. Gets bought immediately. Right? Immediately. There's the open. Again, the volume. But look, I mean, the price action tells you a lot, right? I mean, somebody saw a dip and was like, oh, I got to buy that. All right. Hopefully people are being good. If you are making yourself wealthy during these trading, please think about real estate. I say this all the time. Talk to an agent. Talk to me. Let's get you set up because this is the one thing that I think people need to realize. If there is a spike lower in interest rates and the housing market seems like perception-wise is crashing, it is not because there's a supply issue. but you're going to get people who are forced sellers. And I'm telling you right now, if you can, I mean, I am literally teeing up the next one. If the market continues to be unstable and rates go lower, oh my God, affordability will be back quickly. Absolutely jump on something. If you don't, that's fine. The goal is to turn paper gains into real assets. I mean, I hope people realize like the biggest trading account, it doesn't make you wealthy. The biggest trading account just provides you opportunity to buy real assets that pay you so you don't have to work. All right, I'm going to stop the recording, open up for questions. Feel free to say whatever you'd like. I appreciate it, guys, and I'll talk to you later.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, your PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.